Facebook, and YouTube.
But it's not done with rods and reels or tackle. The rods and reels have been replaced with computers, and the tackle are now unsolicited emails. This is Kevin Britton at the Alabama National Bank. Never provide your personal information in response to an unsolicited request. No
Morning, TJ Ferguson.
You care about closing song?
No, you go ahead.
Helping your dreams become reality at the Alabama National Bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When it comes to your final arrangements, shouldn't you make the decisions? The arrangements you make will reflect your exact wishes and desires. Pre-arranging your own service will help to ease the burden of your loved ones. It will also alleviate any questions, problems, or differences which can occur among family members. Call Clarity Funeral Services today to learn more about pre-arrangements. 286-2449. 286-2449. Owned and operated by Kelly Clarity. Clarity Funeral Services.
Live from First Day Bank Studios, good morning. I'm Oran Jackson.
And I'm Micah Frazier.
It's 7 a.m. We're committing this time to reading some scripture. Today it's Revelations 21. It says, He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. This verse points us to the ultimate hope for every believer. The struggles, pain, and grief we face here on earth are temporary. God promises a future where sorrow will be gone, and His perfect peace will reign. It's a reminder that no matter what trials we endure now, they don't have the final word. Jesus does. Holding on to this promise gives us courage to face today with faith and the assurance that God is preparing something far greater. That was Revelations 21. This 7 a.m. scripture is brought to you by Trey Collins Construction and Trucking Company. That's 580-236-9295.
It's finally Friday. Beautiful morning, cool morning this morning. Seen a deer back behind the station this morning. So it's going to be a good day. We're talking about survival skills everyone should know. So stay tuned for that. We're going to get your country music revving up here on this Friday. It's the weekend. You finally made it. Here it is. Out of Bellsparks, 96.7 KBEL. George Jones with Finally Friday. Get your request in 286-6642. TJ Ferguson said it's his birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday, TJ. Good morning, Cassie.
Happy birthday, bro.
What's up, Cassie? Thanks. Ranks Raggy. I didn't drink. I stopped that crap. I've been checking that, and it's normal. Or Dad has a blood pressure cuff. I've been checking it, and it's normal. I didn't drink. I stopped that crap. I checked it 3 times. It's been like 126/85 was the highest. So maybe you just got white coat syndrome.
believe
Yeah. It's yeah, you just might have white coat syndrome. That's real too. I'm gonna check if that's like if that's been studied.
What's white coat syndrome?
You go to the doctor and you get nervous, so your blood pressure's out of whack.
Oh, yeah.
You get anxious, anxiety hits, and
Finally, Friday, George Jones official live on 259. Oran Jackson and Micah Frazier. Good morning, Micah.
good morning. How you doing today?
Doing fantastic.
We're going to talk about survival skills that you need to know, especially if you're going to be out and about this weekend. First one on the list, building a fire. Maybe you don't need it right now, but some things it's better to have it, the knowledge, and not need it than to need it and not have it. Now, anybody can spark up a fire with a lighter or something to help you start, but maybe you venture out to figure out how to start it without a flame. Maybe you have to make the flame. If you're going to be, I'm going to tell you right now, deer season's coming up. It would be good for you if you're going to be out in the cold, if you're going to deer hunt, deer camp. It'd be good to teach your sons too, and your daughters. Survival skills, nobody's above that. Like everybody needs survival skills. Fire isn't just about warmth, it's survival. It cooks food, it purifies water, it keeps predators away. Learn to start one with matches, a lighter, or even flint or steel. There's a lot of stuff like that you can get at any department store. It matches. It doesn't have to. They have the fires. The little flint. You get you some brush and stuff. Get it all together, leaves and stuff. Pack it. Boom. There you go. You got your fire started. There you go. The key is dry. We call it kindling, but steady airflow and patience. And then when you want to master that, I've seen the videos of how to build a fire underground. So it's not detected by enemies or anything like that. I can't remember what they called it. I want to say it's like after a native tribe, like Cherokee fire or some Apache fire, where if you're in battle and stuff, it's where you build two holes, one bigger than the other, but that smaller hole is you puncture a hole through the side to where the airflow comes through, and you still get the heat, you still get to cook. You still get to go all that, but you don't see it above ground. So think about that. Learning how to start a fire. We're going to get your country music going right after Oran Jackson's weather update for this beautiful Friday.
That's right. Here's your McCurtain County weather forecast. Brought to you by Pine Cellular. Coverage when it matters most. Today, expect a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly before 1 p.m. Then partly sunny, highs near 88 degrees. And tonight, patchy fog after 4 a.m. Otherwise, partly cloudy, lows around 66. Here's Reba.
So I always get nervous at this because they always try to take my wisdom teeth out, and that would require fracturing my jaw.
See, yo, I've heard some conspiracies about that too.
So I get way too nervous. All right, so I get way nervous. Jay Ferguson says drinking some lemon ginger tea this morning. In that Spider-Man cup. Sean said, you just told children to play with fire. I didn't say play with fire. I said learn how to make one. If that requires playing with fire. I mean, I think everybody was what do you call those? A pyro at some point. Like you just grabbed a bunch of matches and you just watched it burn. It's just because it was new. It was a fascinating You've seen your dad, your grandpa and stuff do that, lighting the barbecue and stuff, but you finally found one, a box of matches somewhere in the, what do they call that? Whatever drawer, that's got everything you can imagine in that drawer. Find a box of matches, you go outside, and you just watch it burn. Cassie says, what have you heard, Oran, about the wisdom teeth, I guess? White coat syndrome is real. There's been studies.
Nice.
So laugh out loud. It's in another coffee mug. Not the spider mug.
What? I don't know if they're not causing any problems. I want to see why you would take them out. That's just,
I got mine out like when I was 19.
Were they bothering you before?
Yeah, like my back teeth are all cracked because they were so tight. I could barely even floss between them. And so I got those out. And now like my back teeth are all starting to crack. They're so brittle and stuff just because of that pressure.
They're not, and they're still trying to take your wisdom teeth out. Requires fracturing your jaws. Yeah, see. Come on. They call them wisdom teeth for a reason. Like, you become dumber when they take them out.
That's what happened. No.
I don't think they let you keep your wisdom teeth too. They keep it.
Yeah, they just show you them suckers. That was Reba McEntire. The night the lights went out in Georgia. Get your request in 286-6642. Request a song, a good song. It's Friday. We all want to be in a good mood. We're talking about survival skills you need to know that maybe you should teach your kids. Now, this is by no means legal advice from me and Oran Jackson. I'm not telling your kids to go play with matches when I said learn to start a fire. I'm speaking to the parents that if you don't know how to start a fire, if all you know is to use a lighter, maybe read up on how to start a fire. Maybe just get you a fire starter in the camping section of any department store. Let's talk about finding and purifying water. Now, this is anybody could use this. As bad as things are getting out in the world, you never know what's going to happen. But there are easier ways now, especially if you're hiking, if you go out camping for weekends at a time, you're going to be around, your only water source is natural water, springs, this and that. There are so many things in the camping world that they got straws now. You can just dip inside the running water of the rivers and drink water through that. It's got a purifier going through that straw to where you don't have to worry about getting sick. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Because watching, was it Bear Grylls, Man vs. Wild, back in the day? I seen him eat. I can't remember what he ate. I think he let his food spoil a little bit too much. Like it was so hot that he had to eat it right then and there. He did that, but then he ate a little bit later on, and I guess it had already gotten foul, I guess. And I just remember seeing him struggle all night because his stomach was so sick. That's the kind of stuff that, that could happen if you just drink pond water and stuff like that. Now, I know there's some country folks out there that's like, oh, I've been drinking that since I was a boy and stuff. Yes, we all have, but why risk it when there's so many things out there that can help purify your water? There's also, they have bags now that you can get a whole bag of water and then you put some kind of minerals or something in there and it clumps all the mud and stuff out and then it purifies the water somehow. They also have, I just now thought about it. I'm going to have to come back to that. But get your request in 286. Learn how to purify water. You can last weeks without food, but only days without water. Look for streams, rainwater, dew, but never drink straight from the source. Boil it, filter it, use purification tablets. Oh, I know there's people online, Facebook, any video, you search it, there's people that will show you how to make your own purifier. Now, it'll take a lot because you got to let the water drip through charcoal and all this stuff like gravel and stuff like that. But it will purify your water better than what you would if you were just to drink it straight from the source. So clean water keeps you alive, while bad water can take you down fast, quick, fast, and in a hurry. So maybe do some research like that. If you're going to be out hunting this year, fishing, anything like that, you can always use this knowledge. Get your request in 286-6642. Call in and let us know survival skills that you think people should have. Here's Toby Keith with I Love This Bar on this beautiful Friday on 6.7 KBEL.
I love this bar.
She said, heck no, I'm not doing it. To drink out of a straw for 6 weeks, they said you will wake up with your jaw wired shut. I ran out crying. That's tough. But yeah, I would say if it's not bothering you, if it hasn't bothered you since, for this long, Sean says, water's better cold. I understand that, but mama say better safe than sorry. My mama says that too. Oh no, mama's like alike. Sean says you can use moss too. They don't. Thank you, Jesus. Yep, I would just leave it as is. My theory in health and stuff is like we'll get there when we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So unless the doctor's like, look, your wisdom teeth is like, let's say you're going down bad in health, and they're like, hey, it's your wisdom teeth. They're causing something, bacteria or something to grow or whatever, something. Then I would think about it. But as long as it's not bothering you and you feel good, you're healthy, I wouldn't worry about it. That's not legal advice, by the way. I seriously say, thank you, Jesus. My wisdom teeth never cause any pain or problems. Every day I say this. Yeah, because that's what mine did. Sometimes they would just ache, just all my teeth and stuff. And like I said, I could never get floss in there. Wondering why I have red clay strays. Yeah, it's bad. That's when I learned what Valium did to me at the time. I took half. They told me to take half at when I got to decaf because I got it done in Texarkana. They told me to take half of Valium at decaf and then take the other half when I got to the, pulled up to the oral surgeon's office. And I was good. I was like, this ain't nothing. I went to sleep, from decaf Texarkana, but it was like 7 o'clock that morning. So I just went back to sleep. Got to Texarkana, took that one, go inside. Hey, Wondering Why by Red Clay Strays. We got a request. But I'll tell you in a minute.
What was it?
But so I took the other half of the Valium, got in the doctor's office. I made it to the doctor's office inside. I sit down and that was it. Like, they called my name to go sign the whatever, and Mom's like, Mike, I'm gone. Like, they had to come, nurses had to come, like, help me, walk me to the room and stuff. And that doctor was like, he's talking to me, and I'm just in and out. Then I wake up, or, I look at him, he's like, all right, so you ready? Or he told me, he's like, count back from 10. And I got to, like, A, I think. I sit there and I'm looking at him. He's like, okay, so you ready to get this? You ready to get this going? And I was like, yeah. He's like, way too late, did it. And I was like, what? Like crazy, like. Yeah, that was my first experience with Valium. Like anything that strong, and that's like put me out. Straight bone fragments. Yeah.
Hey, what was that song?
Red Clay Strays, Wondering Why.
Nice. On 259. That's right. Welcome to Live on 259. Oran Jackson, Micah Frazier. Good morning, Micah.
Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning today on this beautiful Friday. We got a request. Before we get to that, y'all should really join the chat on our Facebook and YouTube right now. We got some crazy stuff going, just talking about whatever. How about we're talking about survival skills you should know, anybody should know. How about shelter building? Learn how to make a fort. And I think that's one of the, grown up in the country, that's one of the main things that you like to do. Me and my cousins tried so hard. We'd steal nails and boards, random boards and stuff from Papa's, whatever he had, where leftover scraps and stuff, trees, branches, all kind of stuff like that. But exposure kills quicker than hunger. Whether it's heat, cold, or rain, you need protection. That's where the shelter comes in. You can use branches, leaves, or even a tarp to create cover. It's just pretty much any survival skill you need to know, or I think you should know. Anybody should know. There's videos on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all that. There is people out there that just goes out into one guy I watch, he's like a real skinny guy. He's got glasses. I can't remember his name. I always see his videos. But he goes out into like these snowy mountains and stuff, and he goes and makes like an igloo, and he hikes and hikes, and then about 4 p.m. he's like, okay, it's time to start making shelter. And he'll make a whole thing, like just sometimes it's the igloo, sometimes he finds a cabin, but he does a lot of that stuff, teaching survival skills. He taught me, matches. If you're gonna have matches, you cover them in wax. That way, if they get wet, you don't have to worry about it. They're still good to go. Take the wax off. So we got a request from Andrew Amos on his way up to Hochtown. Hope y'all have a good day. Should be cooler today. Here's the Red Clay Strays with Wondering Why. Yeah, half of one. Well, I took the whole one. I took half in decaf, and then I took the other one when I got to the deal. I don't even know what milligram it was or whatever. You got them out at least. They told me to get Cades out as a teenager so he doesn't have to risk fracturing the jaws later in life. I could see that. How about basic first aid? From small injuries to big cuts. Knowing how to make a tourniquet that could save somebody's life. That was the Red Clay Strains with Wondering Why. Our first request of the day. Get your request in 286-6642. Here on 96.7 KBEL. We're talking about survival skills that you may need to know. All right. Now we've done covered building fire, finding and purifying water, and shelter building. Next, we're going to talk about first aid basics. Survival in first aid can mean survival or not. Small injuries can become big threats. Learn to stop the bleeding, clean the wounds, treating burns or sprains, knowing CPR, You never know when you'll need that. No one ever knows when they'll need that. And there are different people around this county that if you get a big enough class, they'll come teach you. I can't remember how much it is, but I mean, it's a survival skills that you may need, not just at the office, not just out in the wilderness, but you could be at a family reunion, you could be at a birthday party. You never know when you're going to need CPR. No one ever knows. So it's a good thing to know and learn. First thing, you gotta stay cool. You cannot freak out. There's plenty of other people freaking out, and that's why it's good to know CPR. They teach you that. You have to be the calm head, because everybody around you that doesn't know what to do, imagine that. Imagine you got 30 of your relatives at Thanksgiving around the table, and somebody falls out. They're needing CPR, and nobody knows it. There's going to be 30, 29, one person's going to be out on the floor. 29 people are going to be freaking out that they can't breathe. They're not breathing. They're not conscious. You could be that one in the family that knows what to do, and you have to stay calm. So I would go out and figure out who does CPR teachings. A lot of businesses they have their employees learn it, especially if they're in child care, if they're in, any care services, they know how to do it. They'll have you take the courses, but you don't have to necessarily work for any of those businesses. You can venture that on your own, just so you have that basic knowledge. It teach you how to handle the shock and teach you what to do when that time comes. A simple first aid kit plus a cool head can be the difference between danger and safety. That was number 4 on our list. We're going to continue this country music here on Idabelle's First 96.7 right after the O&M Network. Pretty good at those accents, eh?
Who's going for the Australians?
Do what?
Who's going for the Australians?
Kinda, yeah. I was kind of going back and forth. Just that's not a knife.
That's what I was like. That's what I thought. Australians.
Down under.
Yeah.
It just seems like if somebody from Australia, it makes me think they automatically know more about the wilderness and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that accent, I guess. Just I don't know.
State School Superintendent Ryan Walter says $1 million will go to the Tulsa Public Schools to launch the TPS Reads program, that focuses on literacy and math tutoring for students in 1st through 8th grades. Another $1 million will go to the Oklahoma City Public Schools.
They should hit that commercial.
Do what?
Should I hit that commercial?
Early literacy for students
Hit a commercial.
1 through 4.
Would be on the other.
Oh yeah.
Rural districts, Rural Literacy Acceleration Initiative. Our folks.
Oh, sorry. It's so crazy the amount of student teacher stuff going on. I remember a time at Luke Fada, I was the only one in the bathroom, using the bathroom, and the principal walks in, and I thought nothing of it. There was nothing weird about it. Like now, it's just like, I worked with kids for 4 years, and somebody was in the, I had to make sure nobody was in the bathroom just to make sure I was covered, just to make sure that no stories come out about, oh, Mr. Micah was in the bathroom with, someone, whatever. No, I had to, I'd have to knock. Anybody in here? No, okay. Then I'd have to, close the door, make sure nobody comes in. But it's so crazy nowadays that it's everywhere, all over the place.
In other words, I bet the next generation of skilled workers
what was it, Rattan some years ago about the coach that was like pinning the girls or, like pressing up on them against the wall to, where they couldn't go anywhere and stuff some years ago.
She's accused of mishandling hundreds of thousands of dollars for its attorney, Scott Adams, in high school scores. Somebody should have told Greg she was making a mistake.
It was clear to me that the board had approved every single penny that she did take. And not one time did one person ever come to Janet and say, hey, these expenditures are inappropriate, or what you're doing here is not right.
Greg was charged with 2 counts of embezzlement and received a 7-year deferred sentence and was ordered to pay just over $41,000 in restitution. A woman is recovering after losing an arm and a leg in a dog attack in Oran. Authorities say Janelle Scott was attacked by 2 pit bulls on September 9th. Family members say Scott and her boyfriend were riding bikes to a friend's house when the friend's dog attacked her. I'm Jacqueline Scott.
This is the ONN, the Oklahoma News Network.
Bailey Lumber Company's been helping build this area for over 80 years, and Bailey's is bigger and better than ever. At Bailey Lumber Company, you'll find a 30,000 square foot showroom with everything from nuts and bolts to power tools to paint, electrical, plumbing, and flooring, and from the basics to the hard to find. Bailey Lumber Company is a 10-acre dry-free lumber yard with over 140,000 square feet under roof. Their lumber inventory has doubled over the years, and what you need under your roof, you'll find at Bailey's under theirs. Drive a little and save a lot to Bailey Lumber Company, 5 miles east of Rothenbo on Highway 70 to Bailey's.
Choctaw Electric Cooperative invites you to the 85th Annual Meeting of the Members, September 27th at the Pushmataha County Fairgrounds in Antlers. Registration at 8. The business meeting begins at 10. There'll be vendors, free flu shots, a voter registration booth, bounce houses, free food, and prizes will be given away all day. Their special guest is Willie Wiredhand. Join them for a day of fun and excitement celebrating 85 years of serving Southeast Oklahoma. They hope to see you there.
We all know Choctaw Casino Idabel is a great place for adults to kick back and have a great time.
September 19th, Talk Like a Pirate Day. Arr.
Yeah, I got
Scurvy.
At Choctaw Casino Idabel offers up a huge serving of family fun, like bowling, a snack bar, and if that's
National Love Your Lunch Day.
We even offer party packages and event specials.
Ooh, National Cow Mia Recognition Day. And then National Butterscotch Pudding Day. I'm going to give you some today. I love butterscotch pudding.
It's the agency that serves you better. They're fast and friendly, and they save you time and money. Then they sell driver's license manuals too. Remember, if your driver's license needs renewal this year, simply swing by the Rothenbo Time Agency with a state-certified birth certificate and they'll long examine their lines. They're located on the corner of 3rd and Main in downtown Rothenbo, open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. The Rothenbo Time Agency.
It's Oran, Jackson, Micah, Frazier, coming to life. Your favorite morning show.
That's right. It's live on 259 with Oran Jackson and Micah Frazier. How you doing today, Oran Jackson?
I'm doing good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I wanted the kids to know, if they're out there listening, that it is National Love Your Lunch Day. September 19th brings awareness to something often overlooked, lunch shaming. Love Your Lunch Day celebrates food diversity and encourages kids to respect all kinds of lunches at school. We're asking parents and educators to take extra time to talk to kids about lunch shaming and how to spot it. I don't really think that these schools around here have problems with that. There may be like 5 kids that bring their lunch, but everybody pretty much eats the same thing. I think that's for the other class schools that, everybody brings their own lunch. I'm jealous some of the schools get like like Pizza Hut and stuff stuff like that at school. Although the pizza at school was delicious back in the day. We got Micah's Man Up coming up in about 5 minutes. And also we got more survival skills for you and yours right after this next country song. Idabelle's first 96.7 KBEL. We got You Should Probably Leave by Chris Stapleton. So it's just Idabelle playing today, huh? Ashdown, Valiant, and Broken Bows out or off.
Is it home or away?
Away. Sean says, hometown girl Josh Turner. Tell all the fine hometown girls where to find me. I got you. Meet me at the Nacho Car.
You Should Probably Leave, Chris Stapleton, live on 259, Oran Jackson and Micah Frazier.
Yes, sir. And it's time for Micah's weekend wrap up here on Idabelle's First 96.7. We're talking about having a great weekend. I wish everybody, hope you all have a great weekend. Idabelle plays in Ashdown tonight at 7:30, looking for their first win. Hopefully they get that. Broken Bow and Valiant are both off, have bye weeks this week. Weekend is finally here, Oran Jackson. And let's be honest, it's easy to let it slip away in errands, chores, and catching up on the little things we didn't get done during the week. But weekends are more than just a pause button. They're a gift and a chance to slow down and reconnect with the people who matter most. Go out and have that barbecue. It's getting to bonfire season now. Everybody just wants to sit around a fire. That's one of the best things to do out here in the country that we take for granted. Because a lot of, you live in the city, you got to have the little small fire pit, in your backyard and stuff, and it just don't hit the same. Let's be honest. When was the last time you sat across the table from a friend and just laughed like there was no tomorrow? Or spent time with family without staring at the clock? Worried about time with family, worried about the next thing to do on the list. Those moments are what makes life rich. The hugs, the conversations, the memories built in between all those busy noises. That's where the good stuff is. This weekend, don't rush through it. Make the call, set the plans, go for a walk, or share the meal. Share that meal with it doesn't have to be nothing big. Have sandwiches. But it's just the people you got around you. Take the time to be present with the ones who lift you up, who know your stories, and who make you feel at home no matter where you are, because at the end of the day, the errands will wait, but those moments with the people you love, they're priceless, and they get shorter by the day. You only get so many days with these people, and every day that passes, you get one less, and one less, and one less. So remember that. Here's to the weekend of connection, laughter, and making time for the ones who matter most. That has been Micah's weekend wrap up. Wishing you a great weekend of college and NFL football. And just go out and have some fun and be safe. We have more survival skills coming up for you right after Josh Turner with Hometown Girl. Sean Duggett says this goes out to all the ladies out in the county. Weekend plans for me? A whole lot of nothing. Might build me a fire, sit around, play some guitar,
Drink a beer.
Drink a couple beers. You forgot to tell them meet me by the nacho cart. Sean, I think they know where to find you at the nacho cart. What are you feeding them kids today? It better not be cereal or granola bars. You better be cooking. They want some eggs and fried taters. I'm going to try to phone it in today. They want some biscuits and gravy. They want fried eggs, not scrambled eggs. So don't be trying to cook it all at one time. You fry each one of them 2 eggs. I got to, Cassie. I got to. They getting breakfast bars that has cheese, eggs, and ham in it. No, you cook all them separately. So Monday will be the start of fall. That was Josh Turner with Hometown Girl, request by Sean Duggett. Thank you, Sean Duggett. Feed those kids right. We're talking about survival skills that everyone should know, and this is a big one. Navigation without GPS. It's so easy to put in, and sometimes that don't even work. Like I remember when the Garmin's first come out, like 2007 or something. I bought me a Garmin. I thought I was OG. Like I was balling, son. I was the only one that had a GPS, and you had to update that thing so much. We're taking it to Shreveport, and Texarkana had just built this new bypass. And it took us on this bypass, and it's like, turn right. And we're on the like one of those bypasses, that one that goes up above all the other overpass. Turn right now. There is no right. We're on a straight, like we're on a bypass. Like there is nothing but concrete around us. But it's good to you understand that your parents back in the day, those vacation trips you took before MapQuest, and MapQuest was a big deal before then. But they had to, like a pirate, look at a map, and somebody had to be driving, and somebody had to be following the map to where, okay, we're hitting this town, we need to take this road. But this road's closed. So now what your GPS does so quick, within 10 seconds, it rerouting, boom, you got a new route if there's a detour. Such was not the case back in the 90s or 80s or 70s. They had to, I'm pretty sure, I would like to say they'd had to stop somewhere and just figure out, okay, we need to take this road, this road, this road. But navigation, batteries die, skills don't. Learn how to use a map and a compass. It's National Pirate Day, by the way. Arr. So, learn how to use a map and a compass and pay attention to the sun, the stars, and the natural landmarks. Even moss on trees can give you clues. Staying oriented keeps you moving forward. Safety instead of wandering in circles. That's the best key. There's so many times people get lost in the woods. Heck, Kane Brown got lost on his own property. Like, it gets so easy. Everything starts to look the same after a while. Then you start to panic. Like, is that the same, tree that we passed earlier? That, the fellow that's fallen over? Yes, that's the same tree. So we're going in circles. It's real. Know what to do. Know where you come from. That's why Hansel and Gretel put breadcrumbs out so they could follow the way home. But then that bird ate all of them. So, then they were ruined. Trip ruined. But it's very important. Navigation, some sort of navigation, at least knowing how to, let's say you're going to Oklahoma City, you need to know how to get there without your GPS. You just need to know the roads. You need to know how to read the exit signs, how to read, Shawnee, or if you're going up through Norman, or, wherever, Purcell and all that. You need to know your routes, and you need to know when to look for that sign and that exit and this and that. Even when you get in the city, you need to know your exits. You got 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, 171, 175. What is it? You need to know that. So some sort of GPS knowledge, or some sort of knowledge of without your GPS. Navigation. Get it right. We got Ain't No Love in Oklahoma by Luke Combs here at 96.7 KBEL. There was a time in your life that driving to Texarkana was a big deal. I think everybody around here, that's the big test, is driving to Texarkana by yourself for the first time. Like you can ride along for years and not know the route of where, not
You talking about
confidently,
GPS?
huh?
I'm talking about without GPS.
Yeah. Like, you like say you're around when you rode with your parents to Texarkana countless times, you never actually just pay attention to the route. So when it's time to actually go by yourself, it's just more of uncertainty. You'll recognize stuff that, but then, like I said, everything starts to look familiar.
And that construction too, dude.
Yeah.
Throws you off a little bit.
Yeah. So, you got to go through decab, I go through decab. So you got to go through decab. You got to hit Hooks. You got to hit New Boston. So you start to think, did I go too far? Did I, this and that. That's why it's important to just know, we got to go through New Boston. We got to go through here. But I think that's everybody's big test around here is if you can drive to Texarkana or Paris. Paris really ain't that bad. But, just a different, bigger city, bigger town than what you grew up in. Then you're like, okay, I'm ready for Tulsa. I'm ready for Oklahoma City. Dallas traffic is crazy, yo.
I think so.
Man, like, just the trying to get over on your egg. Like, you got to make sure you're on the outside lane.
5 miles.
Yeah, 5 or 6, 10 miles before you get to your exit. Don't try them, Oklahoma City, you can still do a mile. Okay, mile, it's time to move over and stuff. Dallas, nah. Morning, Mom. I was in Dallas. I was leaving. We went down to some little shops and stuff downtown, and then my phone froze, and I'm on the interstate heading south, and my phone freezes, and it's just like, I don't know anything about Dallas. So I'm just driving on the interstate until I have to reboot my phone. Did I travel 20 miles outside the wrong way? Yes, I did.
Ain't no love in Oklahoma. That's Luke Holmes. I'm Oran Jackson hanging out with Micah Frazier live on 259. Good morning.
Good morning. How's your day going?
My morning's going pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Celebrated National Cheeseburger Day right yesterday. Very delicious. Get your request in 286-6642. Join us on our chat, Facebook and YouTube. Have a conversation with us. We're talking about survival skills that you need to know, and we're talking about foraging and food basics. You know what foraging is?
I do not.
Pretty much you go out and knowing what berries to eat and what not, what plants you can eat and what you can't. And there's been a lady on my Facebook page, or I've been seeing her reels recently, that she has like a little deal. One of these is poison and one is a snack. And like, we're going to talk about, and she tells you which one is, which one isn't. She made it into a little game. She's like, so which one do you think? And, she gives you a little time. And then she tells you, okay, this one's poison. This one's a snack. Now, some of them can unalive you. But, she'll tell you, she's like, this one, it'll cause you mild stomach pains, but it won't kill you. But some of them will. They said you got to be. Some of them, it's, how the plant system is the flowers may not kill you. You can eat the flowers. You can't eat the pit. Or you can't, there's parts that you can eat and some that you can't. And that's the poisonous part. So it's very, you can't just pick one out and then, pop it in your mouth and chew the whole thing. You got to know what to eat, what not to eat. So foraging and food basics. Food is fuel and nature provides if you know what's safe. Learn a few edible plants, berries, and nuts in your region and avoid anything you can't positively identify. That's one of the basics that she teaches. And don't just take their word for it, because she does videos where there's people telling people that they can't eat this, and she's like, no, you cannot. Like, that is wrong. That she's got the wrong. So beware. Like, do your own research on, especially around where you live. And I think that'd be cool. Like, we used to eat, and every now and then, I get me old juicy, what is that? Honeysuckle. Like, love those things. But, know what you can and what you can't, especially around here. If nothing else, around your area. Be able to identify it and know there's books out there that they have a checklist, and every one of them you have to check off before you can safely identify that as edible. So there's, like I said, there's things out there now. There's so many things out there to help you that there's no excuse. Y'all be careful this weekend. I have to help mom with the doctor call. See you Monday. Thanks for the advice again. No problem. Have a good weekend.
Be safe. Back today.
Cleaning coming up.
We still haven't done the Fat Guys in the Woods camping. We need to. We need to do that, Sean Duggett.
Cool, I'll turn the AC off for a second.
Yeah, you go ahead. Is it Dennis?
This is Oran Jackson with KBDL. Good morning. Quincy and Annabelle, got you. This guy. Chiefs Country, that's Jason Aldean. You're tuned in to Live on 259 with Oran Jackson and Micah Frazier.
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Good, ready for this weekend.
Yes, sir. We finally made it. It's Friday. Hope you have some good weekend plans. Watch some football, hang out with the family and the friends, grill out, sit around the fire, talk about whatever. Just have that good time. We're talking about survival skills everyone should know. How about signaling for help? Whether you're stranded, you want to be found, or when you're stranded, you want to be found. 3 is the universal signal. 3 fires, 3 whistles, 3 flashes of light. Shiny objects, bright fabrics, even your voice can work. The louder, the brighter, the better. Survival isn't just about lasting, it's about being rescued. So know how to, know how to do that. Know how to get someone's attention. And apparently, the rule of 3. You need 3 fires. You need 3 whistles, 3 flashes. Repetitiveness is key because, if something shines you in your eyes, in the night, and you're just like, what was that? Or maybe you don't think of it at all. Maybe you think it's car lights. But repetition, let's say somebody just keeps doing 3 little flashes, pop, pop, pop. You're going to be like, what was that? Then it'll start to register that might be somebody, that might be needing help. So there you go. The rule of 3. That's number 7 on the list. Signaling for help and knowing how. Continue this country music. We got your notable birthdays, national days, and memorable events coming up in 13 minutes. Right now, we got Wagon Wheel by Darius Rucker here on 96.7 KBEL.
This is Oran Jackson with KBEL. Good morning. David Walker, I think we are. Do we have David Walker on the birthday list? I think someone texted in. Yeah, we got him on the birthday list. Yeah. Thanks for calling. Yeah, you have a great weekend.
We got 4 names this week.
You put TJ on there?
I was going to, but he
Owen Deeply
or he's somewhere. He's like 3 hours away.
Okay.
Because he was supposed to win something, and he was like, I don't know when I'll ever be down there. So because we put his name on something, he's like, if I ever win, just give it to somebody else or something. So.
He went to Rachel High School.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Jay told me that he was tuned in on Deeply and he was over there.
Huh. Sean said if he wins, I'll accept it. No, you eat those breakfast. Hey, matter of fact, bring me those breakfast bars. I like those breakfast bars.
Facts.
Let me go get this. Did it do it? Okay, there it is. Had a nice long too. Did you see those people ran out of that Mexican restaurant? They ran out on their bill.
No way.
Over there going towards like Casey's.
The one downtown?
Yeah. They was trying to say their food wasn't right or something like that, so they just walked out. But I guess they was giving the waitress hell and stuff about it. To me, it kind of seemed like they planned on not paying anyway. Like that was just an excuse to.
Sure. I haven't had Bennigo's. They had to track them down.
Huh?
I haven't had Bennigo's, and I went to the casino.
Dang,
And
really?
the owner, they like tracked him down and everything, made him pay. It was like $800.
Golly.
Yeah. That's Wagon Wheel of Darius Rucker. I'm Oran Jackson hanging out with Micah Frazier this Friday morning. Good morning.
Good morning, yes, sir. We got your national days, notable birthdays, and memorable events coming up in about 8 minutes. We're talking about survival skills you may need to know. How about weather awareness? We're going to go to finish up the list right now. Weather awareness, that's key. Know what the weather, not just around you. Like if you're going to be down on the Glover River, we would always go swim on the river out on the lease. But if it were to rain up north, Smithville and stuff, the river would rise down here. And we had to know that. So we would put something, a can or something up near the edge of the water. That was our deal. And we'd check it, make sure if the water started getting close to it, it's okay, river's rising. It's time to get up out here. Like, it's supposed to rain up there. So just different stuff like that. Not even just the weather where you're at. If it's going to affect what's going on around you. If you're going to be playing in the river, you got to know that, hey, it's supposed to rain up north, like really, a lot. If that's the case, you got to, and mind you, there are water lines on like, these are tall pine trees and stuff down there. There's water lines almost to the top of them. That means that's how bad that river floods when it really rains down there, because it's so low, that when the water rises, it rises. And every time that it would rain a lot, we'd go back down there and there would be it'd look like a landslide come through. The river is forked in a different area because it moved the gravel and stuff. So you got to know stuff like that. If you're going to be out and about, think about, there was an old church camp I went to down in Texas, and it was close to the one where those girls got swept away in that flood last month, or, last month? They said that they got everybody out because they had people constantly watching the weather that night. They knew that something, it just didn't seem whatever. So they had somebody constantly, and somebody was up at that time. And so they got everybody to safety, but such wasn't the case for the other camp, which is really sad. And that's the difference. Knowing the weather around you, even if the weather says nothing's supposed to happen, I mean, you want to hear God laugh? Tell him what you got planned, So you just keep that in mind. Weather updates. We're going to move on. Self-defense and awareness. That's one thing you need to know, how to defend yourself from whatever and whoever. And around here and in Oklahoma, if nothing else, there's one thing you can do to make sure that you don't need to be scared of nobody. We're not going to mention that here on the air, but I think you know what I'm getting at. But self-defense and awareness, know your surroundings. And I think a lot of this is for the ladies because they get so comfortable in where they're at. You know, they get to talking and stuff. But as men, as protectors, we're constantly looking around. Who's around? You know, what's around? What could happen? You know, we're always overthinking. Does it hurt us sometimes? Yes, it does. But better safe than sorry. There's a reason why we walk on the closest to the street. There's a reason why we have our backs to the wall when we go to the restaurant. There's different things. So, you know, just be mindful of that. We do overthink, but we also over prepare for whatever may come. And we're ready at any given point. Then let's talk about mental resilience. The toughest survival tool is your mind. Panic wastes a lot of energy and clouds judgment. Stay calm, think clearly, and set small goals, one step, one fire, one night at a time. A positive mindset keeps fear in check and gives you the strength to push through. Those are 10 survival skills that you should know. I'll post them on our Facebook later if you want to go back and remember all of them, or you can watch our Facebook Live feed later on. We got your national days, notable birthdays, and memorable events coming up right after Hunting, Fishing, and Loving Every Day by Luke Bryan here on 96.7 KBEL.
You got Jimmy Fallon turns 51 today.
Yep.
Trisha Yearwood turns 61 today.
Yep.
We got Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yep.
I actually got two of them. I think I'm gonna do the Family Guy one.
You got anything on National Palmia Recognition Day? Sean said we should take Oran with us when we do the whole fat guys in the woods thing so that we can run, so he can run and get help. There used to be a show on, I can't remember what station, but it was called Fat Guys in the Woods. And it was basically they go out in the woods and they build shelter, you know, survive, whatever. And we always talk about it, like, we're not going to do that. Just go out in the woods.
Dude, I've always been into that. Like, I've always grew up watching videos.
Yeah, just wanting to just do it.
Just survive.
Just to be like, hey, let's catch some fish, let's cook it. And that was the whole show. Like, that's all they did. They would get like different guys to sign up. It was kind of like Naked and Afraid. When that come out, it was the kind of that show they started doing.
I love Naked and Afraid.
Yeah. That was what that was another thing. It's like, you know, you got to eat your food then. Like, if you catch it or if you kill it, then you got to eat it now. Exactly. You can't wait. Like, once it spoils, it spoils.
I don't know if you ever watched Alone. It's like a big, like, they go out to Alaska. It's like 20 people. Like, last one left wins.
Huh. That's crazy.
Like strict. It's a real deal.
it his way. Hunting, fishing, loving every day. That's Luke Bryan. You're hanging out with Oran Jackson, Micah Frazier live on 259.
Yes, sir. And it's time for your national days, notable birthdays, and memorable events. Today, we have, as we already spoke about, National Love Your Lunch Day. That's pretty much saying no food shaming for those who, schools that kids bring their own lunch and stuff. I don't understand. Some kids have steak and potatoes one night, and some kids may bring, they're bringing leftovers of that, and then some kids bring a bologna sandwich. Oh, well, it's food. It's for nourishment. So, that's basically what the Love Your Lunch Day. It doesn't matter what you're bringing. Hey, it's nourishment for your body. Eat it. Go play in recess. It's also National Talk Like a Pirate Day. Scurvy. So all you, I don't know even what that word is, but get ready to celebrate Talk Like a Pirate Day on September 19th. All day today. Just go out, tell your boss, and just National POW and Missing in Action Day. Oh, we got a National Pirate Day. Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yeah, there's a clip from Family Guy.
Who the hell are those guys? Just a few sea dogs from my fishing boat days.
I don't care who they are. They stink. Get them out of here.
They stink of good cheer, Lois.
So go out throughout the day and just talk like a pirate for no reason at all, just because it's September 19th. We got National POW and MIA Recognition Day. United States, the third Friday in September honors the National POW and MIA Recognition Day that serves as a call to action, reminding the nation to rededicate our efforts. And if you don't know what POW and Missing in Action is, it's, if you ever see the flags, it's the black flags with the white letters. It has the POW, MIA, that's prisoner of war, and missing in action for all those who fought in battles and stuff who have yet to come home, confirmed either deceased or, we don't know. So they're either missing in action or they're a prisoner of war. That is all your national days for September 19th. We're going to move on to your notable birthdays. And your notable birthdays for September 19th is Charles Carroll. Come on down, 1737. The last signer of the Declaration of Independence. See, yesterday we had the first signer. Today we have the last signer. William Sellers, 1824, inventor of the standard screw thread. John Thomas, 1907, co-inventor of fiberglass. Boats everywhere. Thank you. Benjamin T. Hacker, 1935, the first naval flight officer to achieve flag rank. Cass Elliot, 1941, Mamas and Papas singer, also known as Mama Cass. You know them. They sing the all the leaves are brown. Love that song. How about Barry Sheck, 1949, co-founder of the Innocence Project. And we got Trisha Yearwood.
I absolutely love that song and love Trisha.
Yes, sir. Trisha Yearwood, 1964. Happy birthday to her. Country music singer and host of Trisha's Southern Kitchen. Might have to check that out. I didn't know she had a show. And the classic Jimmy Fallon.
That was Jimmy performing Old Man.
Yeah, he's pretty good at singing and stuff. Like I noticed he does a lot of stuff. One of my favorite ones was him and Jack Black redid "More Than Words" by Extreme. It was pretty good. They did the whole like music video and everything. But Jimmy Fallon, happy birthday, 1974, late night talk show host, and one of my favorites on Saturday Night Live back in the late 90s and early 2000s. We're going to move on to memorable events for September 19th. 1778, the first federal budget is passed by Continental Congress. 1796, George Washington's farewell address is printed across as an open letter to the public. 1849, the first commercial laundry is established in California. 1876, Melville Bissell patents the first carpet sweeper. 1947, Jackie Robinson is named the 1947 MLB Player Rookie of the Year. And in 1957, the first underground nuclear explosion happens at Las Vegas, Nevada. That has been your national days, notable birthdays, and memorable events for September 19th. Stay tuned for Trading Lines coming up next. We hope you have a great weekend. Stay tuned here on 96.7 KBEL. Here's John Party with Mr. Saturday Night.
Mr. Saturday Night. Mr. Mr. Never miss a good time. Yeah, I smoke and drink, smile and wink, and make you think I'm fine. They don't know how.
So this I know I was telling you about.
Mr. Saturday Night.
Stick that as my secret bag, get it all nice and tight. I sure do love driving and standing up at the shelter. Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I've seen his clips, so he's pretty good. Like, he would like gain weight too.
Yeah.
He goes out.
Like he just be going out there for fun.
Yeah, he has like kids and family too.
Yeah. I seen he had his son stay out by himself one night.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just I think it was on his property, but it was the fact that his son went out and did everything by himself for the first time.
Oran Jackson with KBEL. Good morning. You said what? Nevada. It's not Nevada? Okay. Yeah, thanks for letting me know. You have a good day.
Somebody called in to say it was Nevada, not Nevada.
Yeah, it was
What girl?
our biggest fan.
Oh, maybe in your day, but I mean, Nevada just sounds more.
Nevada.
Nevada.
It's Nevada.
All right, chat. We out. We'll see y'all Monday, 7 o'clock sharp. Sean Duggett, feed them kids something good.